Before I make this video, YouTube, I want to say one thing. Fuck suicide. If you're feeling depressed, call the hotline. Talk to somebody you know and care about. Fuck mass shootings for that matter. I've noticed that YouTube doesn't really give a shit about bullying. Now, I've taken it as the ultimate form of flattery because people can't produce their own content and they're relying on me to get views. But when I noticed the channel was stealing my videos directly from my YouTube channel and making them shorter, I proceeded to flag the videos for stealing my content. And instead of being taken to a legit complaint form or a way to solve the solution, or find a solution to the problem, YouTube redirects me to the help center. To be fair, there are a lot of accounts on YouTube, and the YouTube staff doesn't want to be bombarded with 10 billion reports a day from various accounts. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give YouTube the benefit of the doubt on that regard, but to be fair, if you're going to sit there and say, welcome to YouTube, here are our guidelines, you have the right to a harassment-free experience, don't sit there and say you have the right to a harassment-free experience if you're not going to actually enforce it. Now, the only time YouTube actually enforces anything is if it's violent, if people are actually in danger, if kids are being harassed. If the YouTuber is in danger, they're being stalked and they're being cyberbullied to the point where it's worse than what I get. It's like 10 billion times worse. And that's the thing of it, is it has to be 10 billion trillion times worse, 10 billion times worse than what I get on a daily basis before YouTube steps in and says, okay, now we care. That, or you have to have like at least 1 million subscribers before YouTube's like, okay, now we care. Really, the only thing YouTube cares about is if people are using their website and if their website is making money. And the biggest problem with bullying in general is it's an uncomfortable subject. Most people do not like talking about uncomfortable subjects, so quite often they just get swept underneath the rug. And the reason why I said what I said at the beginning of this video is because quite often bullying never gets talked about as an issue anymore unless there's a mass shooting or unless the person commits suicide. And why does it always got to be too late before people start addressing the issues? You know, couldn't these issues be avoided before they get to that point? A lot of people make the excuse that people are assholes, therefore bullying's never going to go away. That's somewhat true to an extent, but I feel like that's a piss poor excuse. That's like saying, oh, well, food's delicious, therefore obesity is always going to be a problem. No. No. That's a piss poor excuse, YouTube, and I'm not having it. And if nobody wants to sit down and have a serious discussion about bullying and what we can do to change it, people have been doing that for ages. Use your words, ignore it, and walk away. And sometimes that's the best way to approach it. If you're being bullied on social media, just block the person and ignore them. Because on the bigger scale of things, you have to ask yourself, it's just a comment. Someone called you a faggot or said your videos suck. Well, that's their opinion. What does it matter? You know, you could have like 3 people leave a negative comment, But if one person comments, hey, your videos rock, keep up the good work, you can choose to focus on the 3 assholes that are talking shit, or you can choose to focus on that 4th person that says, hey, you know what? I like your content. And social media doesn't have to be just you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be toxic. People choose to make it toxic. Now, the reason why YouTube doesn't have an actual system in play to where people can actually flag your content is because in the past, whenever YouTube has had some system set up to where people could flag people's content and actually get results, people would use that system for trolling purposes. People's accounts were getting flagged for false reasons. People were using those systems to get innocent people in trouble with YouTube, and as a result, people were losing their accounts, the videos were getting taken down. So, because YouTube doesn't want to deal with a real report versus some asshole trolling, it takes too much resource. It just got rid of the system altogether. And now when I go to report someone's channel for stealing my videos, I get redirected to the YouTube Help Center. And I get a bunch of fucking articles that I don't want to read. Not really that helpful. I mean, if people are too scared to produce their own content and they're relying on me to get views, I'll take that as the form of flattery, really. And I feel sorry for these people who steal my videos to get views because they can't be original and come up with their own content. And on that same note, thank you for being my biggest supporter, even though you're a hater. But I feel like YouTube, that we as people can be better than this. Oh yeah. And if people are sick and tired of bullying on social media, then it's a group effort on everyone's part, isn't it? But it's gotten so bad anymore that if you see a video on YouTube, a video featuring trucks of different makes, models, and years, somebody comments, oh, sweet trucks, I like Fords. Someone responds to that comment with, you're a faggot and a douchebag. Fords are for pussies. Real men drive Dodges. And it's just like, ugh. You can't just be happy that here's 2 people who share an interest in trucks. You have to be an opinionated douche about it. You know, I'm like, no, dude. This pack is empty. I'll grab a glass of water, give you some closing thoughts, and leave you with it. I know a lot of people who use social media. It's pretty common, actually. There are some people who choose not to use social media just because of all the negativity and the drama. And that being said, YouTube, you can choose to use social media, but some people, you know, they refuse to use it because of all the crap that people deal with, just for having a free-based opinion. And to me, it's stupid. My point being is you can choose to use social media if you want, but you can also choose how you let other people's bullshit affect you. You can't control what they do, but you can certainly control what you do. And for that matter, fuck suicide, fuck online bullying, fuck mass shootings. Why is it, YouTube, that bullying never gets talked about until something dramatic happens? Some person pulls a mass shooting, some person commits suicide, and now people are talking about it like it's an issue. My point being, YouTube, is it shouldn't have to come to a dramatic incident for people to take notice of an issue. It shouldn't take some stupid bullshit for people to have awareness of this issue. If you're being bullied or teased or harassed, fuck them. They're not worth your time. You know? You got bigger things to do with your life. And pulling a mass shooting or committing suicide is just letting your bullies win and get to you. It's not worth it, man. You know, 10 years down the road when you're a bit more successful, someone calling you a dumbass on YouTube, is that going to matter? No, it's not.